And hello there, YouTube. It's your friendly neighborhood panda here once again. So, I was thinking, folks, about diversifying the page a little bit more. Not just necessarily reviews, rants and all that shit, but more of just like a daily type of thing. I really want to go ahead and get a lot of videos out there and just kind of have a little bit more fun with it. Be a little bit more loose and not hold myself to the constraints that I was lending myself to. Now, shout out to Philip DeFranco. He really kind of helped bring me into YouTube, as well as Kevin Smith, who brought me into podcasts. And so here's what's going on with me today. I've been doing Uber for a good chunk of the day so far, and I just wanted to go ahead and talk about how Uber is from a driver's standpoint. Now, I don't put in the most hours. Now, I know you can't make the most money if you don't put in the most hours. That's just a simple fact of it. Now, of course, by no stretch do I make a whole lot of money on it. But it can be really crazy sometimes. Sometimes you'll deal with some really out there people under the influence, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it's a thing. So there is that. Looking back at a lot of my videos, I realized something kind of interesting. I almost do not vape. And it was supposed to be a channel about vaping and shit. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Now, we don't make the most money on Uber. And hearing that Uber is losing money, just about hemorrhaging it, makes me kind of wonder what the future of Uber is going to look like, really. I mean, I already don't make a huge amount of money, and if they want to go ahead and keep people using the service, they can't really raise the prices all that much. That being said, I've tried to go ahead and go into Lyft. Now, as pretty much all of you won't know, I don't have the best background, so I can't get into Lyft. They will not take me. Simple fact of the matter. They ran my background and said no. Sad face, right? So I'm kind of stuck with Uber for now. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get on this Uber delivery service. We'll see how that goes. I guess it's going to work similar to something like Postmates, where the food's already paid for and everything. I just go pick it up and take it to where it needs to go. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a real interesting thing to do. Now, let's go ahead and transition a bit. Now, it seems like every time I am super low on juice for my vape and shit, that something happens where I get juice. Now, I haven't paid for juice for a while. And I mean like for a while. A couple months or so now. Which also, shout out to Grand Vapors for helping me out with juice. Now, this was before all the regulations and shit came down the pike, so they weren't infringing on any of the stupid bullshit regulations that came out on the 8th. So, there's that. Now, the reason I bring that up, I am running low on juice again. I have maybe 5 mils left in my current bottle, and then I have a 30 mil at home. And And then after that, I've run out once again. Now, if I do completely and totally run out, I am going to try, and I mean try really fucking hard, to just drop vaping, I guess. And if I can go ahead and drop it for about 2 weeks, then I'll go ahead and just get rid of all my mods. All of it, except for maybe like the wood pipe, because that's a real nostalgia piece for me. And just go ahead and like have that for show and keep it for posterity, I guess. Go ahead and keep it as like one of my works that I've made. So that'd be cool. Now, I don't know how well I'm gonna do without nicotine, because I know, of course, a lot of people, especially non-vapors, will say, oh, well, you should be totally fine, you should just have mental willpower and you'll be fine, and all this other crap of just, oh, it's just a mind over matter thing. The fact of the matter is, I am chemically addicted to the nicotine. So it'll be a real rough start, but if I give myself about 2 weeks, then that chemical addiction should be cut from there. And then after that, then it's just a matter of keeping off of it and not spending any money on it and shit. Now, I know, I don't know if I posted the video or not, because there's some videos that I record that I just don't post for various reasons. But I wanted to go ahead and get back into DIY. Now, for a little bit, I did DIY with zero nic juice. It was a real pain in the ass because it was zero nic, but eventually work got super stressful back at my old job, and I just needed that nicotine back. I just was not handling myself very well without it. And I know that may sound like a cop-out to many of you, but that's how it is. And I fell back into vaping. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, a lot of the shops out here in Vegas are closing down due to the regulations, and they can't necessarily give out juice anymore because of the regulations. So, it's not very probable that I will get more juice from here. So we'll see how that goes. I already sold off my VT 200. My VT 200 from H Cigar. So now I'm just running the VT 133, and that's all I have now for regulated devices. I still have my 3 mechs that I have. I don't really do anything with them besides like change out coils and shit. So, I mean, if I absolutely have to sell the VT 133 to go ahead and get some juice, I may. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Another thing that recently happened, my fiance Kim and I went to the Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, and Of Mice and Men concert. Which I know some of you may be saying, okay, well, you don't have money for juice, but you have money for a concert. Now, my relationship and our infrequent nights out together are very, very important to me. And when we bought the tickets, it was when I still had like a steady part-time job. They put me on indefinite furlough from that place. So we had the money back then because we got it as soon as they jumped online, pretty much. And so we had those tickets for a while, and now I know none of you really give a crap, but I did cut my hair. No more top knot man bun or whatever. It wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do, but I had to go ahead and cut my hair for the new part-time job I got at a Fast food restaurant, of course. But yeah, back to the concert. It was fucking phenomenal. Now, that was my first concert I had ever seen, and it was absolutely amazing. I mean, I did have some issues with some of it. Now, Of Mice and Men, I didn't really know any of their songs going into it, and kind of just sitting there, and they're doing their whole thing, and I'm not really getting into the groove, so I'm kind of just sitting there with my hands in my lap, just like, okay, this is cool, I guess, whatever, they're doing their thing, go ahead and support them, clap at the end of the song. The thing that I thought was kind of funny, at one point, the lead singer, in between songs, he's just like, circle, circle, circle. He says that about 6 times. And for a minute, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? He was trying to get a pit going. Which, honestly, me personally, I think that asking for people to go ahead and start a pit, even if they're not necessarily into your music, is almost like Jeb Bush saying, please clap. It's kind of just like a sad thing of saying, hey, give us a hand, please. So, I mean, that is what it is. I mean, when Of Mice and Men was on stage, it was fucking dead inside. It's like there was so much open seating, and the general admission floor was just fucking appallingly empty. I mean, you could probably pack all of those people that were on the floor into a decent-sized Taco Bell. It's like that's about what we were looking at. Now, Marilyn Manson, who came on next, he was pretty fucking cool. Now, he did a rail of coke on stage, or at least mimicked it. I'm not certain which. I don't know. But either way, he mocked it, and that was cool. The only issue I had with Marilyn Manson, and now this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just a criticism I have personally with the flow of it all, was that after every song, there was like a brief intermission of like 3 to 5 minutes where they would go ahead and change up the stage a little bit, and he would go ahead and change his outfit and then come back on a new song. Now, there was a small pit that happened with Marilyn Manson, bigger than what happened with Of Mice and Men, mind you, but still fairly small. And I think the reason for that was a lot of people that were in the pit and stuff, they want like the music like rolling and rolling and going and just like rocking out and shit. Having intermissions in between each song for a costume change and a set change really kind of broke the fluid motion that they had going. So that is what it is. I mean, it was still really fun and still pretty cool. Now, Slipknot, which is what I really wanted to fucking see, oh my god, goddamn fucking amazing. It's like there was a big ass pit going like the entire fucking time, and it's like he stopped the show I think twice, and that was to go ahead and say like thank you to Las Vegas, because that's where they got their big break, I guess. And also he stopped it for another anecdote and shit like that, but other than that, it's like they were just rolling through songs. And it's like after they had done with their set, it's like everybody stayed there and like kept clapping and cheering, even though they were off stage and it had gone dark. Now, mind you, in between all of the other bands, it was like once they were done, the lights would go up so they could change the set for the next band. They didn't do that at the end of this. It's like we clapped, and Slipknot came out for an encore. But they had videos to go ahead and put up on the screen, so I think maybe it was just like something to go ahead and raise the tension, and then like came out, rolled through some more songs, and just like kept rolling and kept running with it, and it was fucking awesome. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, and the only other band that I would want to see up on stage, sadly, is not touring anymore, and that's System of a Down. So I was more than pleasantly pleased with the way that it had gone. Really fucking happy with it. It was just awesome from start to finish for Slipknot, and I was just rocking out of my chair, and then of course standing up as soon as they came on stage, and like just jumping and rocking out through some of the songs and shit. It was just awesome. Now I do want to say that thank you for everybody that still watches these videos. Thank you for everybody that's still here and still subscribed and still goes ahead and checks out the page once in a while. I do these videos because I like doing videos, and especially since my two best guy friends, Solomon McRan and Alex Laxon, have now moved away from Vegas. I don't really have that many friends anymore, and that may sound a little bit sad, like a little pity cry or whatever, but it's not. It's just I do these videos so that I can go ahead and talk and just say what's on my mind and shit, and just go ahead and put it out there. So thank you to everybody that's still here. I hope to get videos up as often as I can, especially since I'm just going to be doing a whole like talk instead of just like, oh, vaping. So yeah, folks, it's been a good couple weeks for the most part. I mean, I've hit a couple snags in the road. I had an issue with my car where the evaporative solenoid went bad on it, and so we had to go ahead and bring it into the shop for that, which was a major fucking blow because that shit was expensive. And on the same day that we needed to take it down to the shop, hop into my car, turn the key, and the fucking engine won't turn over. I'm like, fuck. And it turns out that the battery was pretty much out. It's like, I thought maybe I had like left a light on or left a door ajar so that the lights didn't go off all the way or something the night before. But everything seemed fine. And I had my buddy Mark Ravasco come over, go ahead and give my car a jump start, and went to the apartment because hopefully we'll be getting this apartment soon. And after that, turned on the car, no problem at all. And then we went over to the dealership, and apparently they had to jump start the car and shit, so it was just a bad thing. Now the dealership wanted $160+ to go ahead and change out the battery for a battery with a 1-year warranty. Now that sounded a bit high to me for a shitty warranty. So I know that many of you may say that I took the wrong direction on this, but I went to Walmart and got a battery for $102 with a 3-year warranty. So, I mean, I'm covered for longer on it. While it may not be as reliable as a battery that they could have provided me at the dealership potentially. I mean, 3 years, where if something goes wrong with the battery, I could take it to any fucking Walmart and just swap out the battery, no problem. I don't have an issue with that. None at all. So yeah. So that's what's going on with me and shit, pretty much. Right now, since I did a bit for Uber, I'm going to go ahead and head home, grab something to eat, and then hit the road again. Yeah. Excuse me. Fuck. That was not pretty. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, folks. I have been your friendly neighborhood panda. Please do stay tuned, and we'll see where it goes from here. Have a good one, YouTube. I'm out.